What's going on, traders? You know where you're at. We're back, Benzinga, baby. We're ready to go ahead and get to some trading action. And guess what? Another green day for me in the Moomoo account yesterday. You guys smashed it up. We're getting it right. Small account challenge is going up. We're going to keep pushing today. Let's see what we can find.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Right, traders, let's get to the action. Sorry, we took a little time there. We normally start at 9:10, but sometimes I got to catch up with my boy Ryan, right? I mean,
right.
It's always a good time to talk to Ryan for Luna, and he's such a busy guy. I'm telling you, team, I find it very hard to catch my guy outside of live trading. So I always love to just, take a couple moments. We say hi, we say how each other's day are going, and then we get to it, just like you guys in the chat do, right? We're all a community. We're all trying to help each other out. Ryan and I, a lot of the times we try to get our mentality focused, right? And that's what it's all about, right? We're always going to have different things that are going on, whether it be in our personal life, whether it be in our trading life. The number one thing that we can do is try to keep each other in the zone, right? We talk about this all the time. When you're in the zone, you're worried about process approach. You're worried about your P&L. You're worried about what? Not maybe over trading, taking the best opportunities that present themselves. And you're open to the market. That's the most important thing. So I'm excited to get into another trading day here with Ryan. Of course, you guys out there, I hope that you guys are open to the market today, not building up those confirmation biases and focused on the price action, because of course that always leads. Let's get to the stock market action. First thing I want to talk about is, of course, will we get another move up in Nvidia? We'll keep an eye out on certain stocks today to see how those move. But I did want to, of course, talk a little bit about Moomoo. So really quickly, let me bring this in here. Moving up, man, 13.84%. It's the last day of the month. You guys see it here. A lot of green there, and that makes me a little bit proud, right? It's not a bad first month for the account. We got to try to end the month right? Today, we can take a hit. Yesterday, I did take a day trade. Of course, I had Carvana. I sold it a little early, and that was a mistake on my point. Really, I kind of wanted to swing trade it a little bit more, and it was kind of one of those situations where there was something going on outside of trading, and it caused me to feel a little bit too emotional. So instead of those emotions just riding high, I said, you know what? I'm going to take the green that I see right now and just reassess tomorrow and focus in on the account, right? So not looking too bad there, pushing up 13%. We'll see what happens right now. I did try to make some new kind of layouts here for us so that we can see multiple stocks and multiple trades here. So if you guys have any stocks you guys want me to put on this list, please let me know. Also, we have a watch list here to the left. I can add stocks from you guys in the chat. You guys drop them into the chat. I will input them here in the watch list, especially while Ryan's going on. So in the chat, drop those tickers. What's on your watch list today? I'll add it to our watch list here on Moomoo, and I'll keep an eye out if I see any big movers. But that's going to do it, at least from my outlook here on Moomoo. Of course, you guys can check it out. Hit the QR code, hit the Moomoo, of course. Description down below can also help you out if you guys want to check out a little bit more on Moomoo. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go to my man's Ryan outlook in the S&P 500, of course, brought to you by Benzinga Pro. If you guys want to check out Benzinga Pro, 25% discount right below you in the description. And of course, just go to pro.benzinga.com to get your 2-week free trial. What are we seeing, Ryan?
All right. Well, first things, I apologize because I was the one that held you back today. I didn't ask Mitch for permission, but I'm just going to go ahead and say this emotional thing outside of live trading that he's talking about. Well, the Cubs played the Rays again yesterday, and Mitch actually gave me a chance to bet it. He said, "Hey, Ryan, you want to bet $5, a little lunch bet?" And I said, nah. And I should have said yes, because the professor was back off the IL. Class was in session, and the Cubs now have won 2 games against the Rays, including taking the first pitch from McClanahan deep last night and gunning someone down at the plate in the first inning. Mitch, I bet you're still salty about that call, but it was the correct call nonetheless. Now, with that out of the way here, Mitch, full disclosure, the Rays are the better team, and they're actually going to do some damage in the playoffs.
No worries.
Cubs might not even make it there, so I'm going to live high while I can. All right, let's talk about the market. We talked about SPY yesterday. Go ahead.
Let's get to it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We talked about SPY yesterday. We are getting a little bit of resumption to the downside. So this is what I'm waiting for. Mitch talked a little bit about confirmation bias. I definitely feel like I'm getting a little bit of that today. Of course, we had some positive news over the weekend with the debt ceiling that caused the market to trade up. We actually sold off yesterday from the highs, and it looks like there's a little bit of continuation today. So this is what I like to see. We're pretty much back into the sideways zone. Let's see where we go today on the SPY. I'd be looking for some more downside, but this market is anything but predictable. So we might not get what we're looking for. Now, let me talk a little bit about the small account challenge, because it sure looks like I am getting off the schneid here. We are on a losing streak. If we go back to the calendar that Mitch just showed you, you can see that last week was a horrific week for my small account, as I was red every single day. Now, this week, things are a little bit different. Remember, I did carry, let me go back to the trade here. I'll show you my holding sheet. I did carry SOXS. I didn't add, I don't have a whole lot of buying power left in this account, and I don't want to go all in on one name. So I actually didn't add when it was lower yesterday, but I did think that we'd trade back up. I got back all of the money that I was down, and now we're in the green. So we went from managing a red trade yesterday to now managing a green trade today. Definitely going to be looking to close this trade here today. The other really good thing about that is I have all 3 day trades lined up, and it's Wednesday. So I could, in theory, take a day trade Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in the small account after closing this trade here today. So the plan for today for this position is to watch the open here. I'd like to get above 12 for it. I know I'm not up a whole lot here, only up about $13.25 right now. But what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to have this push above 12, get it closed there. If we get a sell-off out of the open, I'll probably close this position on the sell-off. So that's what we're looking at in the small account. Definitely want to get out of this trade with profit. The one thing I will not do is let this trade go red. So if this thing just sinks like a stone right out of the open, I'm going to close it before we get below 1139. I definitely want to get out of here with a green trade. So that takes care of Moomoo for right now. Of course, we're going to be looking for some scalps, maybe even a swing. One of the things that I've done here is I've tried to increase my patience and maybe day trade a little bit less, as day trading has kind of punished this account recently. So we'll be looking for some more swings here today. Let me go back to the trade tab so we can be ready. And let's go ahead now and remove Moomoo here and put Benzinga Pro on the screen. Okay, so we talked about the SPY. Let's take a look at the movers list here for today. Now, what's going on with my... let me try refreshing here real quick. I know that this works because I was just using it earlier today. So I think I just need to refresh here. There we go. All right. First one here that we're going to look at is MRKR. And let me flip over to the chart so we can see what's going on here. All right. So MRKR, I see a lot of people talking about Irish coffee and Bailey's and stuff. MRKR, this is not Maker's Mark. This is Maker Therapeutics. We do have a catalyst here today. Maker Therapeutics shares are trading higher after the company reported preclinical data of its MT601 multi-TAA specific T-cell product candidate, MT601 in lymphoma cells. So we're getting a really good PR here. You can see on the 1 minute chart, we have a quadruple top effectively in the pre-market here. This is definitely what we want to break out. I'm actually going to mark off both points of this line because the reality is 193 to 199 is likely to be a resistance and or support area. So we'll see if this stock can actually get going. We definitely want to mark some of these downside levels here as well, because if we pull, one of the things that we've seen here is that these plays early in the day have really not been working or haven't been working very well. The percentage of up moves is lower. The amplitude of the up move is lower. A lot of the really big moves that we'd really like to capture, especially in an account where we have limited day trades, seems to be taking place in the afternoon. We've been noticing this for a while. I've talked about this. Shout out to Crow. Crow has also been on this. Crow sent me a message yesterday. Crow, I hope I'm not divulging any of the privacy here, but it's exactly what we're talking about. Crow was talking about ATTO from yesterday. He said it really went, these trades the first hour are not worth it. It's better to wait for 10:30. Of course, entertainment purposes only. But I think that he's right there. I think that the bigger moves have really been coming later in the day. I think the afternoon, saying wait till 10:30. So we'll see what ends up happening here today. MRKR definitely on the list. While we're on the subject of ATTO, let's take a look at that. One of the things that you'll notice is we had a huge day yesterday, and we are really pulling back here today. So this, again, just kind of exemplifies exactly why with some of these smaller names, we're definitely trying to get out of them the same day that we get into them. Granted, this stock is higher than it was around the open yesterday, but let's see what happens when this market opens. Maybe we get another run. Maybe this actually finds some support and turns around. Take a look and see if it finds some support around that round number at 2. We'll see. But again, this just really kind of shows you exactly why we're trying to take those gains when we have them. Now, new items on the list here. WLGS is going to be another one. WLGS, you can see we popped as high as 228. The orange lines that are on here are on from the last time that we traded Wang and Lee Group. I didn't see any news here this morning, so I think that this might just be technical trading, maybe a room pump, maybe it got a Twitter mention. It looked really, really dead yesterday, and then all of a sudden today it has volume. So on this, I don't trust it at all. Certainly would not hold this overnight. Certainly would not swing this. But if we're going to trade this today, we're going to use some of these technical levels. You can see 196 thus far is holding. VWAP is at 203.75. Let's call it 203, 204. We'll see if this ends up getting going. First target here, 219. Second target is at, and in fact, let me go ahead and mark this off because I do think that this will be in play today. If we move to the upside, 228, your second level, and 236, the level after that. We shall see if that materializes. We already talked about MRKR. We're going to talk about TRVN now. This is Trevena. This did have a catalyst here. If we flip over to the news here, Trevena announces receipt of milestone payment from partner in China, Jingsu Noir Pharmaceutical. I probably absolutely murdered that name. Sorry about that. But this PR here today seems to be popping it. I don't know how great this PR is, so I don't want to get too gassed up about this particular stock early on. Definitely want to see how it trades. We just talked about some of these plays in the first half hour or first hour really not being the best plays anyway. We're going to try to stick to that here today. 133 looks to be the support level that we're really paying attention to. 152, definitely your breakout level. We'll see what the stock does in between there, and we'll go ahead and try and attack it that way. Next is going to be BRFS. Glad I didn't mess that one up. Didn't see a catalyst for this one either here. This is popping. Let's see if we can break above 170 and then 175 on this. And then Remark Holdings. This is one that seems to be on the scanner. They seem to do everything. If Bitcoin, pot, AI, they throw whatever they can into their PRs just to get the stock to pop here. I do see a PR here. Remark AI Solution wins a $6 million 30-month recurring revenue subscription contract to provide Rio de Janeiro police cars with license plate and mobile facial recognition capabilities utilizing Remark's proprietary intelligence solutions, artificial intelligence solutions. So that PR sure sounds good. We'll see what Remark does here today. Level that I definitely want to mark off here to the upside is going to be 163. 146 looks to be a decent level. We marked this off before. That still seems to be in play today. We'll see what ends up happening. We're right by the VWAP, so let's see if we can get a volume pop, and then move up to this 163 level. Okay, that's all I've got on the list here. I guess, it also is worth mentioning, watch some of the AI names. I know AI, ticker AI, C3 AI is down almost 9% here today. This thing's been on a massive run. This should have been expected. We'll see if this catches. Frankly, Maybe we do get some more buyers here today. I'll mark off some of these levels just because AI has really kind of been a theme. Got a decent range here between 40 and 43, and we're near the lower end of that range. VWAP pretty extended away here. So if we do catch a bounce, this thing could pop, but just be careful with it. This thing's been on an absolutely incredible run recently. All right, as we wait for Mitch to come back here, I'm going to flip over to my main day trading tab. Here's SIFI. Remember, we talked about SIFI a little bit. This actually had a huge run. I didn't take it that day, unfortunately. We've pretty much round-tripped it, so we'll see if this actually gets some support. This is a very, very thinly traded Indian company that has an actual business tie with NVIDIA. So everything running here, AI, all that stuff seems to be playing in the SIFI. If you traded this, awesome. We'll see if this sets up here again. Let's take a look at the scanner here. You penny players got to be pretty excited. ARDS. This is Aridis Pharmaceuticals, and there is a catalyst here on this one. Aridis Pharmaceutical shares are trading higher if the company announced it received an agreement from the FDA on its proposed single confirmatory phase 3 study. Okay, we are open and we are in the 12s on SOXS. Go ahead and bring up Moomoo here. I do want to see if we get a push away here, we'll probably close this. Let me go ahead and unlock the trade. All right, so we're trying to get above 12. We'll see if we can. Wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back, but again, if this pulls back too much, I'm going to exit the trade and make sure that we're green. I really want to see a pop above 12 here. So good luck, everyone. As soon as we get this trade figured out, we'll go back to Benzinga Pro and looking for some new opportunities. I'm really worried about a kind of a jolt pullback here. What are you folks seeing out there? What do you guys got in the chat? Looks like you guys are watching Mark so far.
All right, let's do this. NVIDIA coming up right out the gates here. So we're getting a little bit of a tech bounce, right? So we'll see if some of these tech names can get a nice little bounce today.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen, at least not early. I want to push above 12 here on SOXS. Yeah. See if we end up getting it.
I think you might get a little bit of a pullback, but it's going to be determined more like what happens throughout the whole day, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing I think that we've seen a lot of fake outs here in the morning. We've seen a lot of stuff, bounce and reverse really quickly. Sometimes the first move isn't always the correct move. So like I was saying in the open there, Mitch, is that the one thing here is that I'm just not going to let this trade go red. We held this red trade all day yesterday. We're not going to do that here today.
I'm with you on that. So just keep an eye out to see what happens today. Keep things in your control, and let's play the game, right? That's what it's always about. It's a game here, and we just got to see how we're doing on the day.
Market is popping. First move here is definitely up. See if we can get any type of slowdown and bounce in SOXS. Mark went through its pre-market high right here. We'll wait for this to settle up and consolidate. Still coming in here on SOXS. Now the NASDAQ's backing off the highs a little bit, so let's see if these semis can bounce a little bit here. We'll try to fill this on pops to the upside.
All right. Setting up here, just looking around, trying to find the trades now. Let's see what we can get into today. All right. Attach this. Lower down this. Let's do this right here. All right. Let's see what we can find. A little bit of pullback action now. Nvidia made an up move. I'm trying to see if we can get into the green in certain areas. Healthcare went green, real estate, utilities. So looking around to find the good plays, team. So let's see what I can find today. Let me go ahead and get my Moomoo screen shared up here. Let's take a look into what it's telling us on the themes and things like that. So it looks like Africa concept, gene editing. Gene editing is somewhere where I'd look at. Beam Therapeutics having a decent day there. So look at that one. And Sangamo Therapeutics. That is ticker SGMO. That one having a decent day. That's a biotech name. How's Beam Therapeutics looking? Not the biggest move there. Trying to find some moves out there, team. You guys see anything, let me know. OCEA being mentioned in the chat multiple times. I can take a look at that and see how we're trading. OCEA. There it is. Let's go to the 5 minute. See a nice little move up. Keeping an eye on like stocks like Nvidia today, AMD, things like that.
I'm just still managing this SOX trade. I think that we're due for a bounce here at some point. We'll see if we end up getting one. I don't know if I'm going to get my 12s anymore. That was quite a big pull out of the open, but we'll see.
All right, was able to bounce back a little bit on a day trade yesterday with SQQQs. So keeping an eye on the SQQQs. They are trying to bounce here off the 2280s, but right now I'm just keeping an eye out to see what's going to happen on this, right? If it breaks down through the 2275, we could see some reversal back into the Qs to the upside. So I'm looking to see if that's what we're going to get today. Or are we going to get continued tech pullback? Also looking to see if oil bounces today. Oil really got crushed yesterday, so taking a look to see what happens there. All right, 9:36. Let's keep it going, team. Let's see what we can find in the markets. Let's go to the Explore tab. Seeing some biotech still showing up on their confectioners, getting a little bit of a bounce after a hard red day yesterday. So just looking to see what's strong, but not seeing too much right now. Let's go to that SPY and see what's up there. So AVGO getting a little bit of a bounce. CMG, Regeneron, VRTX. So it looks like healthcare making a little bit of a move up right now. Microsoft starting to move up a little bit here. Keeping an eye on Microsoft overall. Interesting 15-minute chart. If it can hold 333s on pullbacks now.
IONQ, that was a good one. One of my buddies was talking about that one. I never took any of it. Looks like it's moving here today.
IONQ moving a little bit today.
Yep.
Yeah, that's up towards the 11. Of course, the AI names have been kind of just pushing along, right? One thing with IONQ, resistance here at 11, then 1150s, and 9 EMA below 10. So you could see a little bit of a pullback. Just be careful. We'll see what happens. One thing that I would say that I do like Moomoo, and a lot of it is for the analytics tools, right? Let's just be honest. And I try to be transparent like I always do, right? Order execution in a lot of brokerages, like the actual order going through, that's kind of the same process. What can they give me that's more, right? What are the tools they're giving me? What is the analytics looking like? Tools like this screen right here, are really why I like Moomoo, is really because I love looking at things in more a theme outlook and an industry outlook than how a lot of people look at stocks, right? They see kind of like, let's say Apple moving and they think mega tech. No, I think I'm looking at specifically, what are they doing? What is it kind of moving here? And themes to me are very important. Facial recognition stocks right now, getting a little bit of an uplift, things like that, right? So I'm always trying to find the next industry that's moving and rotation.
All right,
So
I am out.
like this. You're out, Ryan?
I am out. So we did fill SOXS. This is really kind of coming back in. Maybe it does bounce, but I'm taking the gains off the table here. Got to get a green trade on the screen. So we are out all of the SOXS position, and we'll be looking for a new play going forward now.
Nice one today. SoFi was moving higher, it pulled back there towards the 725. I feel like it caught some support there. Now could maybe pull back to like 635s, a little bit below it. 633 is the VWAP. I'll look for a little bit of a pullback, but not a bad day there for SoFi. Smaller names, right? Those are the ones that have been performing well. Carvana pulling back here towards 13. We'll see if it gets the pop right back up. All right, looking around, I'm seeing SQQQs go lower, so that could mean that we're finally starting to get that kind of bounce approach here that some people are looking for in tech. The only question is, do you feel tech will bounce, and how strongly will it bounce here?
All right, watching MRKR here, it looks like it is trying to push away from the VWAP, but no position yet. I'll let you know if we end up getting in that. Currently stalking it here. So if you take a look at my screen, you can see what I really would like to see is a bust above 2. So I would be trading this, hoping for this to trade up to 2 and then break above it and pop.
AI pulling back today, that seems to me like that's finally taking a little bit of a break. And one thing to keep in mind in AI is that they do have earnings tonight. So those earnings, are they going to be able to hold the way this stock has been appreciated for the AI mention? It's one thing to keep in mind, right? And
That's a good question. Yeah, we'll see.
Investors got to think about that, right? That's why a little part of me is looking at this like maybe it's a potential short idea, at least for the intraday action, as there might be some profit taking today, as traders might not want to hold through earnings.
So MRKR so far holding that, man. It's a little wild. This is kind of all over the place. I actually would like for this to calm down a little bit here. SOXS, of course, bouncing now.
Looking for a bounce in AI towards like 41, and that's going to be the area where I'd look for potentially the short.
MRKR is trying here, but we're getting lower highs since the market opened here. So I'm nervous about buying it right here. Feel like it might just reverse. What's going on? Stay focused. Good morning to everybody out there.
Let's see how much this would cost me. Let's find out. Only one way to find out. Okay. Canceling that. All right, I'm going to look for that short on AI there in a little bit here. We'll see if the Q's going to keep pushing. We did get a move up here back towards like kind of 349.75. Gonna look to see where resistance would come into play. We kind of are playing on an hourly trend line from yesterday's action. Now created a support down here towards 348 on the Qs. Big resistance around the 350s. So a big move through 350s is something to kind of look for upside action. Move right back down and rejecting these 350s could also just mean a touch towards resistance. Okay, AI already getting up there. Let's see where AI is compared to my VWAP here. Oof, it already went to 40.50 there. I kind of like this AI move already to 40.50, but I've already missed it. So I need to see if it can come back and test that. Damn, right when I was giving you guys the Q levels, AI did a $1.50 move there up. Wanted to get short it, but
seeing some sweeps in Intel, so we'll see if Intel can move higher here. INTC. Thank you, Moomoo, for alerting me to those sweeps. Option sweeps haven't really been that great in terms of really popping the stock. There has to be something else going on. Intel's had a really rough time, so we'll see if Intel ends up responding to this. Still looking at MRKR here as it's hugging the VWAP.
All right, looking for a little bit more bounce in AI. What are you guys taking a look at, guys? Ulta is mentioned by Ron. I'll take a look at that. Google may mentioned in the chat there, so we can take a look there. Goog, I'll put it on the bottom right chart for me. And then I have AI in the bottom left. Let's put top right here. Let's go for the Ulta. How's that doing? Nice little move on the intraday. A little bit higher here on Ulta, catching a little bit of a bounce after the recent kind of pullback. Oof, rejection on AI there, man. This is going to be a little bit of a frustrating one if I can't get the move, because I did have the entry available to me. I was describing the cues there and completely missed the opportunity there on the VWAP. So I'm going to look to see if I can get it back there, but it was right now, right off that level. Let's see if I can put VWAP on here. There you go.
You guys are talking about CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, really, really strong chart right now. Strong daily chart. MRKR still holding up here. The longer MRKR stays right here at the VWAP, the more nervous I get. It could really go either way, but we've seen a lot of these small caps that are gapped up and up pretty big fall out of favor if it doesn't get the Moomoo. So what I really like to see this start moving here, but we'll see.
Big level on Path. Path trying to get through 17 right now, and that's a Kathy Wood name. It's made a move already about 3.5%. Kathy Wood is up today a decent amount. So looking at names like that, Unity, of course, I still have ARKK for the swing. Unity with a nice push here towards the 28.95s. So got to be careful. Got to see if the Qs are going to turn around here. It did get above the 350. This is where I got to start looking if I want to start getting short AI.
A lot of penny stocks on the list here today. NVAC strong out of the gate here. You guys are trading TQQQ.
All right, just got a little bit of some fill there. Short AI on day trade action. This is through the prop. We'll see what happens.
Good luck.
So taking a little bit of some AI short side. And this is hard because we're talking about a squeezing type of stock, but got to keep it smart, right? Over 41.13s, don't really want that to get through right now. Can add to this position. Only went with a starter here to keep it kind of small at first. Then look to see if we reject 41 and 41.13s and right back down through the 40.50. That's going to be where probably I'll add and then look to really knock this down. We'll see what happens. Like always, just got to go ahead and know you're out and play the game, baby.
MRKR now losing and breaking down here a little bit. I think if it breaks down past what 176, I think this probably falls out. Also, taking a look at CXAI, which Crow looks like you were on CXAI here. Nice little move off that $10 level, currently at 11.35. This thing has a pretty huge range, so this thing likes to move around here. This might not be done. And take a look at Intel here. Oops.
Nice, getting a nice first action move here. So going to look for an add on AI, especially towards 60.
Yeah, so here are some of the option sweeps here. NVIDIA CEO was saying that it was open to a partnership with Intel there. That rumor, I think, has been out for a little bit, but that's driving it here. Interesting thing to note here, Intel's still at highs, so those call sweeps pushing it to highs didn't give it up right away. It's good to see. We'll see if the other sweeps that we get end up doing the same thing.
All right, it's right back towards kind of my entry here. I'm going to try to get in some add at 68 or 50s here, and then see if I could really start knocking this down. There we go. Just got one more add there. Now average 40.73. Got to keep in mind and just focus here for first risk, and then can worry about the reward. Want to see us get through 40.50 here. All right, so just focusing on AI here, just trying to play AI. We'll see what happens.
We got that bounce off the opening move, and the market looks like it's kind of softening here. Unfortunate that I'm still not in SOXS. We think we might go lower here. Maybe I'll take a look at reloading this in the main account. We'll see. Crow calling 10x. This is curling at the highs. Nice little move through VWAP here on 10x. This is a penny stock for you penny players out there. MRKR continuing its breakdown now.
All right, if we break 40, 50 on the downside action, I'll add, but also keeping in mind what out is in AI. All right, need some orange juice, baby. A little sugar.
Ron, looking at Broadcom. Ron, do you think this goes higher here today? But this is obviously a very expensive stock. We had a huge pop up to 922, pretty much bled everything back here. But we're holding in here, so maybe we actually bounce on Broadcom. Would love to hear how you're approaching this.
Getting a little test here towards the upside, and there it is. The AI testing my number right on the dot. Going to look to see if this is just a wick out kind of thing, and then we come right back to VWAP, but definitely tested my number right there. So I got to keep that in mind. We'll see what happens on AI. All right, let's see what happens here. It went up there, it came right back down towards the 4090s, so keeping an eye on it here. Back into the 83s, 80s here. If we can get to the 40, 50s, I'll add. I don't want to add until I actually start seeing the rejection move. And I'm trying to do what's called the VWAP fade. I'll explain the process and strategy a little bit later. This is exactly what that strategy is. Now I just got to keep in mind the risk.
You guys are watching WLDS here. We're moving through the VWAP on WLDS. We'll see if we actually set new highs here. I'll take a look at this one for a main account trade.
All right, want to see a big bar go through 40, 50 here, and then I could take a bigger shot in AI. The Q's doing there. Take a look there. OCEA pulling back there. Taking a look at the Qs to see if it comes right back below 350s. A move above, let's say 350.80s. We might get some upside action. We'll see what happens. Now I'm getting AI to start doing that move, so I'm looking a lot better here. Now we're at the 40, 55s. There's 40, 50s starting to show up. All right, just added a little bit more, now down to 40, 65s on this trade. Don't want to see it really get back there through the 41s now. That's going to be a little bit of a careful area for me. Of course, anything through kind of that 40.23 on the upside, I'll have to get out on AI. Looking for the downside action to come in now and really go through 40. Once it gets to 40s and 30, 50s, that's where I want to take majority out and then look to see if we can come back down to 38.50. There we go, 40.25s. That's not looking too bad here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to already just bought some back there just to pay myself a good amount, right off the shares that I shorted at 40.50, take those off, just paid myself a good amount. Now I can let the next 200 shares work down here and see if I can get it through 30.50s here, and then just continue to work that with 100 shares coming out, right? This is putting me on a really nice trade here on the prop. I got 40.65s up about 160, 170 right now. As it gets through 30.50s, I'll take another 100 off and then try to get it towards the low of the day. All right, putting order out, limit at 39.50s to see if I can get this AI down there towards the 39.50s. It's starting to come down there. But really the low of the day is 38.10. So trying to take some profit as I keep working down and then work it towards the low of the day, especially towards like, let's say 38.50s. I'll take the next profit. And that's another point down. All right, it's struggling right here in the 67s. I'm looking for one more click down here.
BJDX is going here for you penny players. I'm going to pass on that, but that's popping here up to 37 cents. BJDX.
Canceling there as we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. All right, if we get, I want to reject 40s here. If we start coming back through 40s, I might have to take some profit, but I'm looking for the 39.50 move here and trying to be patient. So I just took it off, looking for the move into the 39.60s, and then looking for that cut down. Got to be patient here. Switching to the 5-minute to kind of keep my cool on this short. Nice first action. Let's see if we can get the second kind of hit right now. So I'm looking for a nice little move right back towards the 30.50s, take some profit there and keep this moving down. As we see the Qs come right back below 350s, this is kind of the outlook that I was looking for. So that's looking good for my AI trade. I don't want to see this kind of rip back through 30.50. Let's say, what do we got here? The high is 350.29. So paying attention to the Qs. Also, I could start looking at maybe like success, like are you on that type of trade, maybe just repeating what Ryan did, essentially making the money. All right, here's 39.60s, 39.66, looking good here. Let's see, get 62. All right, so I just took 62. I took 100 off, maybe 10 cents smaller than what I wanted to take, but I'll take that profit. So really nice profit there. Now just working it up, right? So I've taken 2 profits on this. I already have about 161. I still have about $100 in the green. I'm from 40.65. So pretty good move if this could get through the 39.50s. We're up over a point on this. I'm just trying not to let this work and get down there to that 39.50s. It could go lower than that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for 38.60s here. I'll take half off there and just let the 50 shares remain and see if I can get a little bit more. So 38, I'm going to do 65 as it comes down through the 39s. So if I can get 2 points on this, I'll take another 50 shares off. Just riding this down, team. All right, we'll see what else is going on here. We'll see if the Qs can make a move back up. Ulta, really nice move up higher. That was a good mention earlier. NNOX being mentioned in the chat. What's going on out there, team?
NNOX is ripping here. So we actually pushed away. This is a nice little staying completely above the VWAP here. Pushed away, consolidated, took the next leg higher here. I missed this one, but this is a nice move here. By the way, Ron answering my question. Ryan, Avago showed up on one of my scans. I'm not in it, just watching. I don't think it's going anywhere. Its all-time high was 921.78. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, so you're just kind of watching that in case that reverses. Appreciate it, Ron. Appreciate the context there.
All right, we could get another run right back up, right? I'm not going to give up the gains here, so it's right back to 40. We've seen how 40 was acting as resistance before. Let's see what happens here around the 40. I don't want to see, like, I can see maybe a wick going at 40.25s, not over 40.50. Of course, my entry is 40.65. If we would come anywhere near my entry, I would take out break even, because the truth is I'm not losing on this trade. I'm just trying to expand the winning. And I had a tough day in this in the prop account yesterday, so this is a good bounce back on just one trade. That means I'm keeping in mind what? Profit to loss ratio, right? That's what mattered here. It was about 30-cent risk here. Yes, for a second there, it became to about like 45 because of the wick action. And that's where it gets difficult, guys. One thing that I've learned more and more is to be careful with those wicks, right? The wicks are tricks. There's plenty of times I used to get wicked out. And now a lot of the times I try to stay small enough that I can deal with a little bit more than my risk, especially if I'm just seeing kind of wick action. It's difficult. I'm not going to lie. All right, Zella getting up this morning, says Wisdom. SMX setting up, says Smoke Tuna, SVRE. So it's good to see that out there. CXAI, is that getting hit today? Those are the type of names that I also want to be looking.
CXAI had a nice little bounce move. I think Crow
nice
caught
little
that
bounce.
Actually.
Nice little bounce move. That's one to watch. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it sure is. And Mitch, now it's actually one to watch too, because we're buttoned up against this VWAP. So a big volume pop move through the VWAP. We might take off here on CXAI.
Yeah, if you look at it on like a 4-hour basis and stuff like that, I really like looking at charts like that, and I'll show you guys that right now. So CXAI getting a little bit of a move on AI itself. So keeping an eye on that. But if you go towards the 4-hour chart and you scroll back a little bit here, you can see more and more resistance starting to play in on this. And one thing I see is that we're going for a 4-hour breakout. I like using our chart. My next chart is the 4-hour chart. Look how that's setting up there. It just hit resistance. I wouldn't mind a little bit of a pullback and then a relaunch, right? What does it do? It goes through 1150 2 or 3 times. Now it's trying to go through 1150 again. Be careful with this 25 cent spread, but it does look like it's trying to load up for an
I was
upside
just
action.
saying, I was looking at it in my main account, way too spread for me to try and trade this.
Yeah, you see? And that's what another thing that's important that we'll highlight for you guys. It's not that we're saying you can't, but something to keep in mind, right? All right, so AI rejecting the 40 move there. So that making me feel more confident about the AI move. So not feeling too bad about AI here. Would like to see this now just reject down and really start crushing down here. Don't even want to see it get back through 40.
Carmen is on ARDS here. ARDS
Nice.
moving. Someone else had mentioned that SOXS had rebounded nicely. That's not a surprise here. Just wanted to get out of that trade so I could look for something else, but this looks like this is moving here. This is one of the things we talked about. The first move is generally not the right one. The first move here was down. Now it appears that we're bouncing, so we'll see where this ends up settling. This one might make a trader for the next couple of days. And then also another mention here by Bex, IDAI. If I could spell correctly, that would be amazing. It's actually a pretty decent setup here on this chart. We rebounded off 190. See if we can take out this 215 here. This might go higher and test those pre-market highs. So we'll see here. I like this setup. IDAI. No position.
Love it. And it looks like we got jobs numbers coming in here. Jolt's showing a little bit of a spike in the jobs, and we'll see how that reacts in the markets. But even on pretty much everything, we'll see what happens, right? Will it affect the market in a negative way? I'm keeping an eye also on the Qs. That's what I think is important. I see Google perking back up. I will say that. So if you guys were looking at Google, keep your eyes on that. Now let's see what happens in here with the Qs. Will it make a move back through 350s? That's where I think we got to be careful here. All right, so AI setting up here for a little bit of some breakdown action. Let's see if we can get it here. So looking to see what happens here. And there's a little bit of a trend line that I'm looking at to see if we break it here. I'll show you guys that right now. You can see this lower level here on AI. And then you can also see what? Symmetrical triangle outlook here now starting to build. It could push right back through this 27. So I got to be careful here. Keep it tight. If I need to take profits, I'll just take some profits and just kind of work my way out of it. But I'm looking for another push through 39.50s, a move back through 40, and I'm going to take some profit. So just looking to try to work the position up here. What are the Qs doing? I think that's also important, right? Because if the market starts making a big up move, that's where I'm going to get screwed. So I'm trying to stick to this trade right now and hold to my guns. But you guys see my outlooks. All right. What are you guys taking a look at? MRKR being mentioned in the chat, and ENVB. So I don't know if you want to take a look at those, Ryan.
MRKR coming back here to VWAP. I'm really not interested unless we can pop above VWAP on some volume. I'm still watching IDAI. There's a little bit of size here at 14. Actually, you know what? Main account, YOLO. I'm going to take some of this right now. We'll see if this ends up working. Took a little bit of IDAI here. I really want to see it pop through 214. Let me bring that chart up.
Yeah, I got you, man. No worries.
Stamp.
You focus on your trade, man. Do what you gotta do, baby.
See, so this is what we're looking for, right? This little flag here. I'd like to see this bust through 214 and then make a move higher. I took this really small, only 500 shares in the main account. We'll see. Stop here on this would be VWAP.
All right, so I need one more rejection here of the 40 on AI and to move back down through 39.50s to complete the pattern. So I'm sticking with kind of the 1 minute rule of three here. I move back up through the 40s. We'll start shaking the pattern actually to start getting a little bit more bullish. Keeping the action on the Qs. I just saw a big bar to the upside. Now I want to see what happens on this next bar. Do we make a move to 350 or do we pull right back? There's AI coming back towards the 60s. I could add here at 39.50s and go for the home run, but there's no point. I'm so far from the action. What I want to do more is just look for the bigger hit, running into the bigger hit, right? Running into the double, the triple, and trying to take base hits. Here goes CX AI. Definitely you guys can keep your eyes on that one. Let's see how that one's doing right now. Nice little move there to 12. That one pushing now to 12.18, 12.50. There could be some profit taking going in AI and maybe going to CX AI, right? Why not, right? I did like the move that it did above the 11.50s, came right back towards right below 11s just recently, went to 10.90s. Nice push right to 12. So now I'd be looking for it to hold kind of 11.25, 11.30s on pullbacks. I wouldn't want it to go back through the 11 if I was in it there. But we'll see what happens.
IDAI pulling back here now, a little bit a stock for sale at 208. This is really going to need to get some buying here for me to stay in it. I'm going to give it a little bit here, but we're pretty much right at my stop. That offer now flashed off the level 2. So might be hidden. I think that if we get another pop back in here, I'll try it. If we move down any more, VWAP currently at 203. I will close the trade there for a small loss.
Definitely the battle's on here for the Qs. The Qs are battling the VWAP right now. We'll look to see if tech does another sell-off here. I'm leaning towards that side, so I'm also going to take a look here at Moomoo, SQQQ, or Stocks S here. SQQQ is probably the better option because it's right there near the bottom. So I'm going to look also to maybe take a day trade in the Moomoo account. I only have one left today, so I got to choose my timing wisely here. Actually, I'm going to focus on the AI trade. I'll hold off right now on the SQQQ, even though I like the setup. I just don't want to be too confused. Yesterday, when I did the two trades and once, I actually got a little bit confused. And that's just because it's like, you know, just something different right now. And so trying to deal with that. I do like this action, though, off this 2260 here for the SQQQs. Now I'm seeing AI there make a starting move here towards the 39.40s. That's looking great there for me. Now I want to see it take out there 39, move to 38.50s, and see if we get increase of volume as we break through the low of the day. That's what I'm looking for. Q's starting to reject. Let's see if that can start making a move. And then just be careful with names like NVIDIA, right? You can see how quickly they went up and how quickly they're coming right back down. AMD is already leaking. Google was starting to make an up move, so keep your eyes on that one. That one is in the green right now. Apple's in the green. Microsoft in the green. Look to see if those bigger names turn red. Something to keep an eye out for in tech. This market is not normal and live trading is not the best thing. Why not, Raz? I mean, the truth is that you just got to be careful, right? You got to always be able to be nimble and know both sides. I think that's very important. Wisdom saying, have a beautiful day. Everyone done for the day. Best switches, my folks. Thanks, Mitch and Ryan, for always supporting the new season in a person's life. And I think that's very important, right? Let's keep pushing, team. Let's keep trying to up our levels. There's going to be days that are going to be tough. Guarantee it. But the truth is, we're not here for the tough days. We're here because we're here to repeat a process and battle through. Every day is a new day. Let's see what we can get today. AI trying to cut down here through the 39s here. Now 39.18 starting to show up here. So I'm up a decent amount, and just consider about taking some profit here because the Qs are still kind of holding on here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take some profit here. Let's see what I can get. Let's go to the 1.
So IDAI kind of pulled back here. I am out, so took a loss there on IDAI. That's okay. We'll wait for another one. And of course, as soon as I sold, it popped back. MRKR now through the VWAP here on MRKR.
Trying to hang on here in AI and just ride the wave. So trying to ride this wave down, man. There he goes, 39.20s. Can we get another break of 39 here? SQQQs look good. I'm just going to leave that one alone, but it doesn't look bad at all.
Trying some MRKR here, probably being a little bit too aggressive. This is in the main account.
Now
186, my fill. We'll see if we can push higher here now. Really, this is good volume here, and we're through the VWAP. So we need this momentum to continue here. If it doesn't continue, this is likely to pull back. But if we can get some continuation, maybe we pop and challenge that $2 level on MRKR.
All right, we might get a little bit of a pop back and then a rejection. So just be careful out there on these pop backs, right? Looking for a takedown of 39. Come on, AI. Let's go for it. Take it out. I'll take some more profit and just work it, baby. Work it. AMD breaks low. Bill says AI looking for 38.25. What do you see the SQQQs going to? Well, like always, team, I can't give you exacts. I wish I knew. If I knew, I would probably just put the house's money on it, right? One thing I do see, though, is yesterday's close, 22.48. Where did we go to today? 22.52. So we're using yesterday's close as the support right now. And then we're looking to get through yesterday's high, 22.88. So that would be my first level to look for is 22.88, and then look for the move above. That's logical, right? 23s make sense. And from there, we can start looking at hourly levels. Right there, what do you see at resistance on the SQQQs? You're going to see on hourly levels, you'll see right there. I'll even show you guys it. There's resistance right at 23s. So things like that, I definitely want to keep an eye out for and see if the SQQQs stop there or do they take the next level up. I'll go to the 15-minute chart, or let's go to the hourly chart so you guys can see that. You guys can see right there on the bottom right, there's resistance right here at this level. I'll put a horizontal line so you guys can see that a little bit more. And so right there, let me extend this here. So it's right around the 23 levels where you see that resistance on the SQQQs. So keep your eyes on that. Let me actually make this thicker. There you go. Now you guys should definitely see that line. There you go on the SQQQs. We'll look to see if we get through that. Next level from there is I would see 23.33s and 23.50s. Let's see if we can make a move into the 23s today. And it's a nice move already, right? Like I was looking at it off the VWAP, and these moves are usually smaller, but not a bad starting move there. You can see the VWAP around 22.70s here. Now starting to make a move up. 22.88.
Raz asking Ryan, what do you see on the Intel orders thing? I think you mean level 2. I don't really see any size on that. I'm looking out to 318. I don't really see any size there. I'll let you know if that changes as it moves up. But let me see if I can see anything else on the Thinkorswim ladder. Right. Maybe a little bit of size at 30.24, but really not much for this name. Don't see a whole lot on there. Nothing to really take away from that.
He's heading down fast here. I'm looking for the break of 39 here, and then going to start taking some profit here in AI. There's 38.95s now. That's what the hell I'm talking about. Let's go. Get this a little bit more. Another little click down, and I'll start taking some profit. That's hanging in here into the 90s.
SOXS back to that opening high. The good call, Walter. So that 12 level that I was looking for did materialize, but I didn't want to sit through the pullback, so I closed that. I'm okay with that. But at least the plan worked here. So SOXS. And remember, with some of these ETFs, you can always rebuy them. I guess if you're limited on day trades and you want to limit it to a day trade, maybe you can't. But for the most part, you can always buy them, or you can always rebuy them.
Mm-hmm.
About to lose again here in MRKR. Out MRKR, man. I'll tell you what, some of these breaks to the upside really, really punishing me, just not going well. Got to do a better job of adding on support. MRKR continuing lower here now.
All right, 38, 80s here, a little bit more. Come on, AI. Let's go. All right, there's 75, 76. I'm taking that. Almost 2 full points. I took another half off. Just have 50 shares left from 40.65 now. And now can just what? Pressure off completely. I can even try to let it go through the low of the day and let AI continue to work. There's 38.60 starting to show up. Not bad. So far on the prop today, up even through the fees that the account has. I have about 256. I'm up. So not doing too bad. This is over a $300 trade. Not doing too bad on the prop account. Trying to battle today. Let's go. Nice VWAP fade today on AI, man. So I'm just going to keep pushing. CXAI still taking off. Yeah, it went up there towards 1309, 1350s. So that's looking great. Nice little breakout there. So if you're looking for one that's moving, CXAI, definitely one of those that's moving. Let's go to the 1 minute here. Keep up with the action. 1297s. I have it right here on the top corner. I'm gonna put the Bollinger Bands to show us the expansion. When I'm also looking for like where I could take profits, a lot of the times I'm looking to see how much we can stay on that upper band and when do we pull away from that upper band. Can we actually expand away from that? There's AI now down to 38.50s. Let's go. Let's go. Get in it, team. I'll show you guys the executions here and how we're kind of holding on here, but not looking too bad there, guys. You guys see the position there. Nice little 40.65, still holding on a little bit there. So not having a bad day there. You guys can see the filled orders on the day. So there you guys see it, 256, not looking too bad. Of course, this is in the prop account. We'll see what happens and see what I can get out of AI. I'm looking for the break of the low of the day now, 38.06. So if I can break the low of the day, 38.06, I can really start seeing this go down towards daily levels. One level that I'd be looking at is 37.50s, but there's even a gap down below towards 33s, but we don't know how low it's going to go today, right? So all I can do is just try to take some profits along the way, and that's what I'll try to do. Also, the NQ's going down in the overall tech game, kind of getting hit hard. It's something to keep an eye out for. So you see how here on the Qs, we're coming right back towards that kind of support. Let's see if it breaks that. And resistance right now beating up on the SQQQs around the 2290s, right? So the Moomoo trade could have been working here, right? I mean, I wouldn't be looking too bad in that one. But one thing is also, I've been trying to get some more day trades versus just one. So like if I can just end the month here up 13.84% on Moomoo, can I really be upset about that? We'll see. Poor AI.
13% in a month is pretty good, Mitch.
Right? I think that's not too bad, right? And one of the things is I'm going to keep just doing what? Just trying to stay to the process, right? Because the moment I start getting off the process, that's the moment I'm going to get destroyed, right? And I really want to show you guys that you can do this. It's just going to be slow at first, right? And maybe when we build it up, maybe it depends on the smarting account size, right? Like I think a small account size, really a good starting size would be kind of closer towards 5,000 versus let's say 500. But I'm just trying to show you guys that you can start it with as small as whatever account you'd like. The key is learning how to play the game and surviving this account for like a year or two. If I just keep playing that, we'll be in the right process approach. There's 38. 21s now. Oh man, what a move here on AI on the day. Not a bad move at all. We're starting to see that takedown now towards 38.06. There we go, getting through the lows there. And so not too bad. Lows of the day breaking there on AI as we're going through the 38s. What's the level that I was looking at? I was looking at 3760s here. So I'm going to look for a little bit of a push here through the 38s, going towards, let's say, 3880s, 70s, somewhere in there. I'll take another 25 off and just continue to work this position higher.
CXAI, just an absolutely monster call. I definitely, oh man, not day trading well at all. Not day trading well at all. MRKR back to the VWAP here. I was stopped out of that. Missed CXAI, so looking to reset here. Day trades have not been going well. It's been the swings or the overnight plays that have been working. SDA, another great call. That thing popping to the highs here, looking like that's going to try and take 30.
All right, trying to see if AI can get through this 38 so we can take a little bit more off and just keep letting that work, right? One thing to keep in mind, of course, is keep your eyes on bigger stocks, the Qs, things like that. See how the bigger stocks really quickly pulled back there. SQQQ coming back through 23s. Now I can see a little bit of a pullback, so just be careful out there, team. We'll see if the SQQQs can keep going. It went up there towards 2308. So not a bad little move there on the SQQQs as we're going lower here. How's the stocks at? I'm sure that's taking off there to 1205. That's a nice move there. Let's go back to the multiple charts here. Ooh, what a nice little symmetrical breakdown there in AI and just stair stepping down now. So we could see a little bit of a turnaround here. The Qs is what I'm looking to see if we continues to just break down, because tech is what I'm looking to see if we keep washing out on. Stocks like NVIDIA. Do we keep going lower on NVIDIA, AMD? I could get short some other names now, right? I could focus off on AI. So that's probably what I'm going to start looking at is I'm looking for pullback opportunities, but I'm also trying to just piece out on AI. We did get down there towards the low of the day, didn't take the profits, and now starting to see a little bit of a pullback. And we know how this market loves to play chop here. So instead of like fighting here, I'm just going to take a little bit more off. Now I only have the 25 shares left, just paying myself. Now it's a $300 trade no matter what. And what I'm going to do at this point is the remaining shares, I'm just going to set as a stop limit and just right near my entry. And then just if I need to get out, I'll get out. If not, hey, just let the trade work.
Nice job, Mitch.
Yeah, not bad at all, right? Now it's time to just let this trade actually work now.
Nice job for those of you that hit ARDS. Excellent question. Milky's asking, last question on Moomoo, is it easy to learn and navigate the platform? Yes, I think so. I think it is easy to use. I think there's a lot of really good content in there, and it did not take very long to learn where to go. By the way, Intel popping here, SDA above 30. That sure looked like that was going here. Intel above 31, huge volume on Intel right here.
All right, not bad, team. Not bad. 40.65. We took some out at 39.60s, 38.73s, 38.65s. So really not a bad trade at all. 40s, we took some out. So not a bad one. AI coming back already. You can see how that's working its way back really quickly. And so maybe start to look to see if maybe we get a little bit of some tech bounce, right? So it depends on how you want to play. I think that's always the thing about day trading that traders struggle with the most, is that the truth is there's always two decisions to make, right? Is the market going up? Is it going down? And then looking into different sectors and industries, trying to nail that.
Guys, look at this move on Intel. Look at this move on Intel. I talked about the sweeps earlier here on Intel. That was on that first push up. We came pretty much back down to VWAP, right back down to 30, and we have blasted off here. Intel normally does not move like this. So maybe there's something to those rumors there. I think maybe there's some new information here about guidance. Let me see if I can find that.
Nice mention in the chat there by Sal. He's saying that he's struggling and he feels like he keeps missing moves, having a little bit of FOMO, taking my small profit. Hey, it's all good. You know, one of the things that I would say is like yesterday, missing moves is my weakness. I talk about it, right? I get a little upset. I've made plans and I didn't nail it. This is part of the game. We got to go ahead and just get back focused. And if we're feeling like we're not focused, it's okay to call it a day too, right? Because the idea here is not to take every opportunity. It's to take the best opportunities and also be on top of your game, right? Because if you're not on top of your game, then you won't execute like that. And then you can miss trades and even have losing trades on trades that had really good plans, but you just executed it poorly. All right, let's go looking around. Let's see what else we can find, right? What other trades can we get on kind of shorts? That's what I'm looking for because it seems like that's what's been working. Still getting a pullback here. The Qs might bounce a little bit. So if I do look for stocks to go up, I'd look at the bigger names that we're holding, like Apple's pullback there to 178. Doesn't look too bad for another move back towards 179. But just got to be careful playing that kind of game. All right, just going to look around to see if we start seeing reversal action, right? And I think that's the important thing to look for. Let's go to the sectors overall. I'm just going to take a look there to see what is up, what is down. Only thing up is communication services, defensives in the red. What's down? The biggest cyclicals, financials, and industrials. Cyclicals getting smacked today. So like home improvement, lodging, leisure, all of them taking a big hit today. So areas like that, footwear and accessories, those don't look like the best places to be right now. Ooh, I know JWN reports today. That one's interesting. Macy's, KSS going lower. Target actually getting a bounce today. It's interesting. Walmart, how's that doing? Starting to bounce a little bit. Costco. Costco's interesting, man. How does it go down on the report, then open them into a day and then get right back up through the 500? That's how it does it to you sometimes.
The trade. I love oops, hit the wrong button there. So you get a Mario 1-up sound. Nice. Costco, I love Costco, but it is hard to trade. Being such an expensive stop, I've never had luck with the options. That's one where I would just rather buy and hold in small positions.
IWM now going down, so just be careful there. Starting to see a little bit of a turnaround. Looking for some smaller names. What's going on out there, team? How we doing? And Bollinger Bands. So Bollinger Bands use standard deviation. So it's going to use standard deviation to kind of measure what an extreme move is, right? Because if we think about statistical data, right? If the move is going to be within, and we're talking about the bell curve here, if the move is going to be within 95% or 90 confidence interval, right? If we're looking at the kind of the statistical bell, right? So essentially, majority of the actions should stay within 2 standard deviations. Majority, that like about 90% of the action. But the only question there, right, is when you get extreme moments. And so the Bollinger Band has a tendency of giving you 2 things. It gives you extremes, and it also gives you what? Volatility. When the Bollinger Band expands and it gets bigger, like the top and the bottom are getting wider, that means volatility is increasing. And when the bands get tighter and contract, that shows volatility decreasing. So just to give a little bit, I got you, Brenda. Mitch, you have the nails. Use your hammer, baby. Let's go. Mitch, your preferred symbol for short SPY. That's going to be probably SPXS. So short
That's the one I would use.
SPXS. So you guys can see here, we use the SQQQs for that. But for SPY overall, I like the SPXS. Look how this is taken off here. This reason why I like the SPXS, I found that it has a tendency of trending when it makes moves. It has a lot of chop, and then all of a sudden makes a kind of trendy type of move. But when we think about the SPY is very much like that, right? The SPY is trendy. It likes to go sideways for a little bit and then gives you kind of a little bit of an expansion move, right? So you can see here, we started the day, we were choppy, and then finally really start trending in a direction. AI working its way back, so it could come all the way back. What am I going to do? Not worry about it. I've already set the stop to get out of the remaining 25 shares. I've already made 300 on the trade, so just keep working it, right? I need to figure out how to set the percentage there, because if I keep focusing on net P&L, that's where I start getting mentally like kind of into the money too much versus into the percentages. Percentages matter more, man. I know that the net P&L is always fun to look at. The truth is, if you keep working on percentages, the net P&L will just continue moving in that direction. And then, of course, not overextending myself on one trade. I sized up yesterday in the prop. Today, I was able to make that right back. So yesterday, I lost about 150. Today, I make about 300, right? Keep it in line, risk to reward. If we can do that alone, mathematical probability is on my side. This is what I'm looking for, team.
MRKR holding up here. I'm not in it, but it's really kind of just sitting right around VWAP, just under it right now. ARDS kind of pulled back to VWAP. We'll see if that gets going again. CXAI still kind of all over the place.
Well, whenever you get a chance, Ryan, what did Intel say today that made them pop so much? It seems like they said something. And of course, I would want you to check none other than the Benzinga Pro. We'll see what happened there, but I know that he'll take a look there. It seems to me like that's news related. The amount of volume pop is no longer like, let's say, just like an easy amount of volume.
So a couple of things here on Intel. So let me put my screen up. So first of all, there was rumors here about the NVIDIA CEO being open to a partnership with Intel. Now, I believe this was coming from Computex, where the NVIDIA CEO is speaking. Jay had mentioned this earlier as well. We also saw some early call sweeps on Intel. I called those out here earlier today when we saw them. I actually saw them in Moomoo at the time, but you're also seeing them here in Benzinga Pro. We did get another post here. Intel executives participate in TD Cowen's 51st Annual Technology, Media, and Telecom Conference. VP and CFO David Zisner fireside chat during Intel's business and financial strategy. So maybe they think something's going on here. That's going to be today. Will participate. Looks like that's going on right now. 7:15 a.m. Pacific time. That is going on right now, I believe. So maybe there was something coming out of that webcast. I'm not watching it though. So
I'll tell you what, I can see that the price action is following the 9 EMA. So that shows momentum and momentum buyers into the stock. Now, of course, I'd be looking for pullbacks. I can't play high of the day breakouts. I just don't do them. Like, that's just a no. Every time I play that, I just get wrecked. So I need to look for pullbacks to 30.75 or 30.50. But if I take a swing on Intel, maybe at those levels, yeah, if you're going to start mentioning NVIDIA, yeah, I'll start looking at you again. And I think this is how quickly a even long-term approach can change in a stock. Why do we not look at Intel anymore? Because it isn't sexy. Right now, it is not. But if you start mentioning NVIDIA, you start getting sexy again real quick.
SOXS coming back in. We might be able to load that on dips depending on how the day goes. As Jay's saying here, Intel, there was chatter NVIDIA was going to outsource. Intel, definitely a huge pop here, really strong. Still watching. Actually, let me take the ETFs out of my unusual options scanner. That might make it easier to find individual plays here.
Yeah, even NVIDIA is starting to come back a little bit. And one thing I'm starting to see is the Q's prop in here. So just be careful, team. We could start seeing even tech stocks start catching a bounce. AMD's coming back there. Apple, I talked about earlier. That was strong out the gates and then turned right back around. I'm taking a look here to see what's going to happen. We're going to fall off the tape there. what's going to happen to the Qs? So the AI play kind of came up and rejected the VWAP. So not bad. 3960 rejection there. So I'm just keeping the play. Honestly, I could keep AI all day until the end of the day today. As long as it keeps what? Below my entry. That's it. And from at this point, it's about just letting I talk about this all the time. Let the market work for you, not you work for the market.
Absolutely.
Think about what that statement is. And the more that you can do that, and Ryan sees it in his swing trade sometimes, he's like, man, I didn't feel the stress in the trade. I came in and cashed out. And I think that a lot of times as traders, we got to find ways to manage our stress level, right? How much stress level do we want to have? Day traders have the highest stress. Swing traders go a little lower. And I think position traders go a little lower than that. Then you have your investors where they're kind of like not stressed on the daily activity. So you got to determine what works best for your personality. Of course, we do a lot of day trading here, but you guys also see me doing some swings and some different action. Anyone holding AI for earnings? I wouldn't, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's not something I'd be interested in doing either, frankly.
That's our personal opinion, though, of course. You never know, right? I mean, the truth is they could kill it. They could talk about a new product for AI and then all of a sudden take off. The truth is nobody knows. That's why I won't be short it overnight, right? That's 100% why I won't be short it overnight. Because even if it would keep going down all day long, would I want to hold it overnight? No, that would not be smart for me. But the selling pressure is intense today. I agree with that, Quantum. We'll see what happens. Nice 3-bar on CXAI. We've been keeping it up right here. You see how it came back to the middle line on the Bollinger Band and then came right back to the upper line? That's what you want to be seeing. A lot of people actually trade that action. They use the middle line and they wanted to go right back to the upper Bollinger Band. And now it's right there, right? Now let's see if we get that next expansion move towards the 14 and continue higher. NVIDIA showing some signs of bottoming here, but it needs to really quickly start making a comeback. Let's see if the Qs can come back through 348. Looks like they're wanting to make a little bit of a move. So I'm going to actually start taking a look at SOXL for the trade in the Moomoo account, baby. Let's go. Already made one in the prop. Why not make one in the Moomoo? Let's go. All right, so SOXL. Can we get a double bottom or triple bottom here? That's a move towards like kind of 2156. Lot of action, lot of action. Where are my drawing tools? Let's go. There you go.
Where are my drawing tools?
I need my lines, baby. It's all about the lines. Do you even got lines, bro?
By the way, Jay, I checked out that college match play golf tournament yesterday. Those kids are really good. Those kids are really good. I know they're only college kids, but damn, that was some good play.
Yeah, college. Are you talking golf?
College golf, dude. Those kids.
Oh man, they kill it, bro.
It's unbelievable.
They kill it, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I've seen them play. That's what made me realize, no, Mitch, no.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, but I am not good. I have no illusions about that.
It's just that once you see what good is, it's kind of hard to compare yourself with good, right? I mean, we could say we're par, right? You could say you're par, Ryan. You think you're par?
No, I'm happy with bogey golf.
Bogey golf, baby. Hey, no double bogey, no handicap though.
I did actually have a double on my last 9 holes, and that was the best round I shot. I had a ridiculous birdie, sunk a 30-foot putt with break. It was awesome.
What? Ryan, we need a camera, man. We need a camera.
I know. I need to start wearing a GoPro to the golf course. That would really be something.
So I have like this little tripod that you can take anywhere. You can bend, you can put it on trees and stuff like that. I need to send it to you so that maybe you can just put your phone on there and it can just like take the shots for you.
You can link me that Amazon and I'll see if I can pick that up. And we'll put
less than $20, man. Less than $20. So good way to take some shots when you're on the go. And I want to see some shots, man. I want to see my boy hitting it.
It's Jay saying some of these college kids hitting 330 with a 3-wood. I consider myself happy if I hit 280, 290 with driver. These kids are out here slamming 330 with a 3-wood, get wrecked.
Yeah, no, yeah. I remember like I think the furthest shot I hit in golf is like 260, but that's like probably like the only time I'll ever get it. I need to learn though. I need to learn, Ryan.
It's fun, man. It's fun. It's
mean,
not
don't get me
easy. It
wrong.
takes
I can
practice.
swing. It's just the whole finesse game. That's going to be the harder part.
Yeah, you can learn it though. If you learn finesse in trading, you can learn finesse in golf. I'm confident. By the way, MRKR bouncing off of that pull zone. So every time it's got down to that 170, it's bounced a little bit here. Let me bring this up on the screen. You can see this is, in fact, I'm going to mark this because if this is still going to be in play later today, we might as well note this level here. I've got 171, but let's call it 170.
All right, trying to see if we're going to balance out here on the SOX S and the SQQQ, well, the QQQs, of course, to see if we start making a way back. All right, I like that outlook here. So let's get this ready to go here. All right. I'm liking it right now. I'm just trying to wait to see if the Qs can actually give me a little bit of a sign, or maybe NVIDIA give me a little bit of a sign that it wants to come back. Because if I get it too early, I can get wiped out. That's the truth. I'll be right back. 2 seconds, team.
Okay, we'll hold the fort down here, Mitch. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that we've been trading here today. ARDS maybe curling and making another move towards highs. SDA really pulled back off that high, but looks like it's bounced off the VWAP, so this might be setting up again. I'm probably going to stay out of these. Yeah, Crow saying give SDA a few minutes. Crow, what's the spread like on that? Let me check. Let's check. Oh my God, it's spread a lot. Bid ask. This spread is 40 cents on SDA. 40 cents. Brian, do you shoot billiards? I play sometimes if I'm with like a group and there happens to be a pool table there, but I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm lucky if I hit the right color ball.
Hell yeah. Let's do it. Little billiards action. I'm about it. Used to be a little bit better. All right, seeing that. Yeah, see, the Qs just seem like they're just leaking, man, and that's the hard part. I need to see some type of action to make me want to get SOX out. What do you got here on this candle? About 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left here. So didn't give it about these 3 minutes to determine if I'm going to get into SOX or not. Trying to see what happens here in the Qs. There's a low prop action there, so it doesn't look too bad now.
Intel bull flag here on this 1 minute chart. Let's see what the 5 minute looks like. Yeah, it looks like we're starting a bull flag on the 5 minute too. So we'll see if Intel actually pulls back in here or if we maybe compress and then takes the next leg up. Hawaii Rye saying, how's Buddy doing, Ryan? He's doing good. I think he's locked in my bedroom right now because he's just causing all types of hell this morning. He doesn't like when I work.
All right, orders out for SOXL at 75s, 21.75. Trying to get filled in on the pullback. It jumped to 80, so I don't know if I'll get filled in on that pullback. But I can also take a look there in the prop account to take more of that day trade action with this little move. Also going to take a look to see if there's some other stocks to start getting a lift, right? Mara is actually doing a little bit of a sneaky move right back up there. So I'm keeping an eye out on that one. I've talked about that one in the past. If Bitcoin makes a big move up, I don't want to miss it. There's a fill there on the pullback there for SOXL. So now I just got to hold and determine where my out is, right? That's what it's always about in trading. So now we can first focus on risk preservation, then we'll focus on everything else. All right, so about 55 needs to be my out here, and that's not too bad. We're pretty close there. Got 75, so risking about what, 20 cents here.
Brian, I accepted this deal while I was on mute, so I'll formally do it now. You share trading knowledge, and I'll show you how to shoot. You got yourself a deal, Bri.
Love it. Love it.
More Intel calls, 29.5s this time. Wonder if those are closing those trades from earlier, because we did see some sweeps. These are only 100+ option lots, or contract lots, excuse me. Right in here, and Intel. 31 calls bought. That might be a selling and rolling it higher. Which is, by the way, strategy-wise, so if you were playing Intel with calls, that's actually how I would address this trade right now. So if you had calls that became profitable during this pop, what I would do is I would sell those calls, collect the gains, and then buy more exposure further out. So roll out into that. That'll still give you exposure, and depending on how many contracts you buy and how much of the profit you use, that trade could actually be free. So this is one of the reasons why I do like using options in some cases. I don't have options for Intel here, but that's how I would trade this. I just buy a higher strike further out, maintain some exposure, and then book some of those gains and keep it in the account.
All right, team, going to look to see if we can come back in SOX L above the 2190s now. Don't want to see that move there through the 2160s, really. The recent support there on the 5-minute was 2160s. Of course, 2155s will get me out. Can't push it too much on a trade like this. It's a reversal style trade, but I think about these all the time is that I want almost instant gratification on a trade like this.
Ryan is saying, shoot pool or shoot at the gun range. I may know a thing or two about the latter. Yeah, I'd be down for either of those, by the way. I'm definitely down to learn to shoot pool. As far as shooting at the range, practice makes perfect, and I am willing to take tips from anyone that is a professional on that. Range day with Ryan here. Ryan and Ryan range day. 2 Ryans don't make a right, but that would be a lot of fun.
2 Ryans don't make a right. I love it. Love it there. Smash the like out there, team. We'll see what happens on the day here. Trying to take a little bit of a Moomoo trade. And like always, guys, you guys can check out Moomoo. Throwing up the link here. And we'll be wrapping up in just shortly at 11. So smash the like out there.
Yeah, and Jay saying exactly, Ryan. That's what I did with my Bud puts. Goes on to say, roll up with profitable calls, roll down with profitable puts. That is a excellent strategy, Jay. I'm glad that that's what you're doing. That's what I would do if I was in one of these moves that ends up going, if I'm in the contracts.
All right, I like how we're starting to prop a little bit above that 2160s here for SOXL. I just need to see a move to 2190s and the Qs to start pushing towards the upside. NVIDIA is one that I'm looking at to see if it can come back to 395. That would be kind of the move where we start getting this up tech move. AMD's heading right back down. That's where it gets a little bit scary, right? We got to keep an eye out on the Qs to see if we're going to go lower here or rebound. You got to be quick with it too. So that's one thing that I also noticed here. It's going to be kind of a quick action here, whether up or down, I feel like. So I need to be really quick to watch what happens here. Just keeping an eye on the Qs to see if we can start making an up move. Is NVIDIA starting to make an up move? The Q's starting to make an up move. So now look for SOXL to do the same. There's an up move in NVIDIA towards 393s, 21. So don't look too bad there. I'm going to go to the multiple screens so you guys can keep up with the action. CXAI, that thing doesn't want to stop today. We'll see what happens there. SDA, on the bottom right.
SDA $11 pullback from those highs. Brian says, we Marines can get you proficient at 500 yards iron sight. Hey, man, I'll take that, but I also have a holographic with a magnifier, so hopefully we can push the envelope a little bit.
Talk dirty to me. All right, starting to see if we can get this up move in tech, man. Does tech want to come back today? Let's find out. It's 10:45. This is when the day traders go away. And the real traders take over.
CXAI new highs, just an absolute monster trade from you guys here today. Awesome stuff by the group.
Yeah, man.
IDAI right back to where I was trying to play it earlier. Do I double dip on this one?
All right, starting to see a little bit more strength setting up here. That's looking interesting. AMD is one that I could look at. That one's reversing also. How's the Intel? Pull back enough? No, not enough for me at least. NVIDIA trying to get a little bit strong here. So looking to see if that can get some strength.
Jay, I saw this tweet. Bear Cave exposing an AI fraud tomorrow. Edwin Dorsey, better hope you don't own it. Saw that on Twitter, actually. I don't have any AI names. I wonder which one he's talking about. Until tomorrow, we won't know for sure.
Oof, a little part of me is thinking about double dipping in Soxal right now, going with the prop account for the day trade action too. But I always feel like I put like a little bad luck on my trade when I do that. So I'm going to stick to the side.
GFAI on a move through 6 here. Big pop on GFAI. Crow calling out VQS. Let's take a look at that. VQS, look like this is coming off the bottom for you penny players. IDAI. I don't think this is an actual AI name. It just has AI in the ticker. You can see we're getting right back to that 215 level. Let me see what this says here. Identity authentication software solutions. There it goes. There goes IDAI, by the way. This is what I was waiting for earlier. Took the loss on it. That sucks. We ended up getting the pop. Crow, this is what we were talking about, wasn't it? We even mentioned this here this morning, that the moves normally don't happen until after 10:30. Well, look, it's 10:50 now. We finally got that breakthrough 215. They brought a bid in and under here at 216. This popped as high as 224. I got prints here at 224. So this one working, Crow, this is exactly what you and I were talking about. Sucks that I took a loss on this earlier, but it is what it is. This was a spot by Bex earlier. Nice one.
All right, looking at Google here for potential long.
Look at GFAI going here. Let's flip over to Mitch's screen to check out this Google long.
All right, so I'll put it on the bottom right here. I'm liking the 124, 123 risk here. So I already got a pop here to 124.15. I hesitated a little bit there. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a pullback towards 124, then start getting this, but it might not get all the way to 124. Looking for a little bit of a pullback action to get in here. Nice move right below 24 would be a nice move to get in. And then I have my risk right down there towards 123.84. The bigger move is through 124.25s. And there's a resistance on the 5-minute towards the 29. So I'm looking to see what happens here. If the Qs really want to come back, we'll go higher. Google. Take a look here. Yeah, we keep holding it right around here, looking for a little bit move higher, right back up through that VWAP. There's 24.12s. Now's my chance if I want to go after it. It's a little bit of a pullback action. How's the Qs looking here? It did get a pop to the 95s there. Qs back towards 348. There's a little pullback in Google, trying to get the actual 124s. Not getting it. It's back there, starting to make the move now. So I got to just jump at it here if I want it. All right, just took a little bit there in Google, 24.15s. So now looking for pullbacks to add. Of course, I didn't want the full share size at the top, so I just took a little bit of a starter there. And now looking to add on this. This is for the prop. And I still got, of course, the SQQQ trade on there. So I got to keep my eye on that because I might have to take some profits in that as that continues higher. in the Moomoo account. There's Google now to 124, 23s. I only went at it with 50 shares. Of course, it's a more expensive stock, so I got to be smart, but not looking too bad. And AI is actually coming back. It could stop me out on the move back up. But of course, I have the stop ready for that, so we don't have to even look at that. I can just focus on my Google trade now. Another thing that I'd wanted to do is kind of hold VWAPs now. That'd be a good outlook there on Google. Of course, we can keep an eye out on like kind of the Qs to see what happens there, because if the Qs break down, that's where we're not going to get this move. Looking to see if we can hold above 348. Don't want to see this go from a red to green, green to red candle on the Qs. Soxal getting up there towards the 2196, but not getting through the 22 mark. That's not good. That's a rejection of VWAP. I want to see it get back through that level for the continuation. Google pulling back here. Right back to the VWAP.
Jay saying the banks are really weak here. Goldman Sachs and KRE down 4%. The bank trade has been very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Been saying that from the beginning. I've had no success with those, not in any of them at the moment. MRKR looks like this is finally breaking down. This thing's just been teasing an upside move all day and has not given it.
B. Thomas in the chat, I'm going to give you just one kind of at least chance. Maybe you're new to the stream, but please try to refrain from the all caps and keep the caps to your tickers. Like this, we're all good. We don't want to be doing kind of this action in the chat, because the truth is that it distracts everybody else. There's nothing wrong with you printing and making money. I'm okay with that.
No, that's right? Great. That's
like,
great.
even if it's against me, like I will never be mad about that.
Yeah,
like, you're making money.
Never.
Like, we're all for it. But I also want to just state the rules so that we can all keep the chat kind of like really actually benefiting us versus affecting us in a negative way. All right, here's that pullback. Looking for the Qs to continue grinding higher. They are grinding higher. So I just got to determine if I'm going to add here to my Google or not.
So see some of these AI plays popping. BFRG's popping. BBAI up 4.5%. Be interesting to see what that short report does to all of these, especially the one that's it's named. Saw that you guys are talking about Twilio. That was a really, really beaten down stock. Let's see what that's doing.
It's been doing well. When it got beat down,
today, yeah.
When it got beat down, it just came all the way back. Like, it was like such a one of those opportunities where the stock just gets destroyed. 3 days after, it was already breaking the range and started making its way back. It's been a big move as of late. I'll put you up there so you can show that Twilio. Boom. Not seeing much here. Seeing a rejection there on the Qs. It didn't even get to the VWAP before it rejected. So just trying to keep up with it to see if we can stair step our way right back up. But that's where we got to just keep watch, because when things turn around, they're going to be vicious.
IDAI, right. Man, that was
really close on. I'm watching that AI, and it's like right above VWAP. I could actually add shares back to that and then just look for it to come right back down. But I think that's just asking for it too much today. I've done trades like that before in the past, though. So I got to go ahead and kind of think about that. That's the 40-30 rejection. So we'll see what happens there. Qs are starting to come right back down. So it doesn't look like we're being able to hold here. Yeah, the Qs just put a big candle right back towards 348. Let's see if it holds 48, but it's not looking good. Like, even this trade now going into the red here. So the first thing to focus on is Moomoo, of course. Not going to let it get hit there. Not going to let it go through my levels. That's 55. Let's see if we get a recovery here. Google did get back through 124, and then just coming right back. Now is going to be the chance to see if it wants to put the big bar up or it's just going to break down. I'm not feeling confident in the Google, so I'm not adding. If the Qs were by the VWAP, maybe I would take a shot there. But the Qs are actually below VWAP and didn't even get back to VWAP. That shows me what weakness a little bit. All right, guys, it's about to be 11. We're going to wrap it up here. Anything that you want to wrap up with, Ryan, go ahead, and then I will go right after you, my friend.
Yeah, so let's talk about one of the things that we talked about right at the open here. I mean, obviously I'm going to be watching the SPY, but as we watch IDAI take off, remember my buy was right in here, looking for this breakout right here. We did not get it. We pulled all the way back. That's going to shake out all of the weak hands, including mine. And then this ran back up on really, really good volume. We're pounding the highs right now. So I think one of the things here is, although our show is a 2-hour segment right around the open, I think that one of the smartest things that we can do for day trading here, unless you're very, very active, is kind of waiting for this bigger move. And we talked about it a little bit today, tried to do it a little bit today. But the big move here again missed because just took a loss on this a little too early. So, and look at Crow. The bottom was exactly 1030. So I've got it here at 1025, but Crow, I mean 1030 is right here, and that is nearly the dead bottom. So you're exactly right. That 1030 time frame, that seems to be, I think what I'll do for the Moomoo account, and if I don't take anything later today to hold overnight, I think what I'll probably do is hold on to some of those day trades until we get to this time frame so that we can hopefully increase our chances at actually hitting one of these that runs instead of having a false or fake breakout. So that's going to be what I'm watching today. I want to watch how some of these other names end up trading. Remember, MRKR has teased a breakout. We never got it. Seems like it's breaking down now. So just going to watch some of these small cap names, refine the process for tomorrow.
All right, just added there. Oh, no, not what I wanted to do. You see that can happen sometimes. I actually got out of Google there at right my entry there. So it just paid like commissions for no reason there. Now I'm trying to get back in at a lower price, but I just made a mistake there. So I'm going to take a second there to reassess. But hey, that can happen sometimes, right? Can't be mad about that, right? Always got to focus on what's important. Definitely got hit there on SoxL also in the account, lost 494. So I'm okay with that, right? That's the Moomoo account. We lost 494 today. And what is that? The average loss, right? And I'm okay with that. That's going to happen sometimes, team, and we're not going to be always into the green. So the key is always what? Focus on what? Focus on loss, profit to loss ratio, keeping the process every single day and coming in, washing out what happened yesterday and doing it all over again. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. Definitely keep up with all the action. Ryan, appreciate you like always, man. Have a great day. Take care, my friend. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. No all access today. We did get a cancellation there, so we'll see you a little bit later today and see you on Start Swing Trade. Hit the wrong button. Again, Mitch, it's a little bit of a different platform, the prop platform that I'm dealing with, and I've had a little bit of issues trying to get that right? But this is normal. When you're dealing with a new prop account and I'm dealing with a new platform, I got to sometimes deal with that. And I'm going to let you guys know when I make mistakes versus acting like I'm a pro and I meant to get out there. I made a mistake. It happens. That's life, though. And that's trading. The truth is we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. If we search for perfection, we're not going to get there. But one thing we can definitely do is keep working on our process approach. All right, guys, hit up the Moomoo QR code. I'll throw up the link one more time. I'll see you guys on Start Swing Trade later today, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Why aren't you guys all making it out to Start Swing Trade? You guys in the chat, I want to see you guys out there today, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. I need you guys to support the other shows, of course. And if you guys want to check that out, we get into some trader talk. We'll talk about some day trading action today. We'll talk about the AI trade. Come catch me a little bit later today. We'll see what's going on in some swing trade action and see what else I can get in the market. We'll see you next time. Smash it up, team. And by prop account, you mean paper money? Well, it's not really paper money. I mean, you could see it here, team. I mean, it's just a evaluation account right now. So I'm trying to get it to that next level. Sparky, I mean, if You don't understand what how the prop game works? Well, come check it out on Start Swing Trade. I talk a lot about that, right? Moomoo today, not doing too bad for the month. Going to go down a little bit on that 13% because I took a little bit of a hit today, but you can't be mad about that, right? Down about $5. I'll take the 12% up higher or something like that and see what we can get into next time. It's been a tough day. Keep battling out there, team. And I'll see you next time. Smash the like and keep pushing because there's only one way. You got to keep pushing to the next level. Honesty is what it's all about. And that's one thing that I'll never falter on, team. Because at the end of the day, all I want to do is be transparent so that you guys can learn from my wins, my losses, and of course, mistakes. And I hope that you guys overall are learning here a processed approach versus just learning like, oh, this is the holy grail approach. Doesn't exist out there, team. We'll see you next time. Smash it up.